we're gonna talk about the biggest thing about this movie, and it's the freaking Alpha Zombies meat, bro. I know, this movie has mixed reviews based on the ending. Zombies. Obsessed with them. I saw it 28 Days Later, back when I was in like 5th grade. Absolutely obsessed with it in middle school. Transcended into like Dead Rising, the video game. When it came to The Walking Dead, I was BGD. Before Glenn died. Even like the OG movies as well too. Like the very first zombie movie ever, Night of the Living Dead. 28 Years Later is a post-apocalyptic horror coming-of-age zombie film. Directed by Danny Boyle and written by Alex Garland. You hear that little clunk, clunk, clunk? That's just the AC running. The neighbors upstairs, they like their AC. Obviously, you know, it's 28 years later in this universe. But yeah, it takes place off of this island where a lot of like the native people of like the UK, some Scottish motherfuckers, you know, them UK motherfuckers, they're all living on this island, and it's like a primitive way of living. Meaning that they use bow and arrows, and it seems very much like old school tribalism. But honestly, it's giving a little cult energy as well. And when the movie starts, like the young boy and his dad are off to go on this trek. It's like the rite of passage to go off the Isles. They have to walk on like this little strip of land that is visible when the tide is low to go to the mainland and essentially get your first zombie kill. And while we're there, you get the breakdown of the new types of zombies. Like there's a fat ass zombie, can't remember the name. They be crawling on the ground eating worms. They got alpha zombies, and alpha zombies run packs. And now, let's get into some characters. I'm talking to you right now. If you're watching this all the way through and you haven't liked that little button down there, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Alfie Williams as Spike. Jodie Comer as Isla. Aaron Taylor Johnson as Jamie. Ralph Fiennes as Dr. Ian Kelson. Edvin Riding as Eric Sundquist. Chai Lewis Perry as Samson. Christopher Fulford as Sam. Amy Cameron as Rosie. Stella Gannett as Jenny. Jack O'Connell as Sir Jimmy Crystal. And the ending is something we're going to talk about towards the end of this video. Sorry to make you watch a little bit longer. Let's talk about the things that I liked about this movie. I overall am one of the people who like this movie. There's a lot of haters online. People are overall giving it a pretty decent rating when it comes to movies, at least to the last few movies that I've watched. It's had one of the higher ratings. I like the exploration and the guide that Aaron Taylor Johnson plays in this coming-of-age film. You're kind of in the lens of Spike, if you really think about it, because it's like, we've seen 28 Days Later, we've seen 28 Weeks Later, we've seen all the other zombie shows, all the zombie lore, we've played the games if you're a big zombie fan, you know, we kind of get the idea of what life is like right when the infection starts, a few years into it, but like a freaking quarter of a century later, what's it really like? And it kind of comes down to like people really being within their own tribes. One of the big indicators of like tribalism is when Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jamie, brings Spike out to go explore like the stomping grounds, showing him where he's gonna work one day, showing him what to do, and just kind of giving him the lay of the land. You do end up finding like a body of a human that clearly hasn't been a zombie for a long time, just hanging upside down. You can tell definitely during this trip that young Spike is obviously learning the atrocities of what it takes to live in this new world, not in their safe haven, but also that sometimes people are evil as well. One of the biggest misconceptions is that this doctor, Dr. Kelson, is a bad man. Eventually the lore gets caught up with why Jamie thinks he's a bad man and why he tells Spike that. But one of the elders is like, yo, low-key, that used to be my GP, general practitioner, back in the day. When it comes to this movie 28 years later, if the only thing holding you back is the ending, you better show up for that meat, alright? Because that zombie, that alpha, he got that meat, he got that fang on him. Big old fucking meat, just like in your face. Imagine 20 iPhones, meat, you, theater. It's all happening at once. Grab your popcorn, hold your girl's hand, hold your boy's hand, hold whoever's hand next to you, and just enjoy that show, baby. Something new and interesting that happens in this zombie movie that I haven't seen in any other zombie movies other than The Meat is that one of the zombies gives birth to a freaking child. How do we get to this point? Spike finds out that his dad, Loki's lying about a lot of things, and he's got a sick mother, and he's like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with mom? There ain't no doctors around. Spike is all like, you know what, dude? Fuck you, dad. I don't want to stay on this stupid culty island anymore. You're trying to eat some fucking puss, dude. You don't take care of our mom, dude. What the fuck is going on? And he slams that metaphorical door and walks his ass off of that safe haven of an island and brings his mom to the real world to go visit Dr. Kelson. And that's pretty much the premise of the movie after you get introduced to like the new world. And surprisingly enough, it remains relatively innocent for the most part when it comes to this coming of age moment. There's a lot of like peaceful and humble things along with some fucked up things. You'd think it'd be a lot harder for Spike and his mom to travel, but you know, they run into this Swedish soldier who gets marooned on the island, and his character's basically comic relief. And this character also showcases to you that the infection did not spread outside of the island. So at the end of 28 days later, they do show like clips of Paris. So I'm like, what happened with that? Like, did it spread? Did they contain it just to the island? I want to know more, because it clearly looks like this Swedish man is living a whole ass normal life. He's married, or he's gonna get married to a girl who gets lip injections and shit. He's got a phone. He's talking about the stock market. So it seems like the world kept going, you know? So eventually Spike and his mother do get to Dr. Kelson's, and this is when they find out Dr. Kelson, yeah, maybe he did go a bit crazy. He creates this thing called Memento Mori, which is like essentially in Latin, remember we all die. He creates like a bit of a sculpture, a bit of a monument. Overall, I thought this movie was phenomenal. It was really good. And I like at the end of the movie, Spike decides to like go back home by himself. So there's indications that something happens to the mother. You know, he goes back home, he leaves like the infected baby, and he leaves this letter. The letter stating he's gonna go off on his own, he wants to go to the mainland and explore, which is like, bruh, how does this all tie in together? So pretty much Spike is on his own, you know, the dad's reading the letter, and it's just like a bunch of zombies pull up on him. You think that like, yo, Spike, he's got this. He's gonna crush all these zombies. At the end of the day, this kid's only 12 though. And Jimmy from the beginning of the movie pulls up with a freaking eccentric ass squad, like just decked out in like gold jewelry and like weird jumpsuits, and they're out here just fucking like having fun killing these zombies. It's giving a little Kill Bill, to be honest. There's a lot of discourse online like, it would have been better if Spike killed it, you know, it would have been better if it stayed to the gritty, sad roots of the first two movies, blah, 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 blah. We've already seen all this sad shit before, bro. Like, I get it, bro. It's like you want to see like the realism in it. But unlike all the comments I've seen online, like somebody argued, people do parkour in real life, why can't they do parkour? The ending definitely threw me off, I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't hate it. Definitely go watch 28 Years Later and let me know if you think this movie is good or not. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time.